In 1947, as the world awoke to Indian independence from British rule, the people of India rejoiced. However, they were also aware of the massive task before them. After decades of a severe food crisis and economic disparity, the nation had to make sure that rural India was also able to benefit through self-governance. The Land Ceiling and Regulation Act was the government's first sweeping move towards this goal, abolishing the zamindari system and enabling villagers and tribals to own and cultivate the land they had always lived on. The Government of India nationalized small banks that opened up in villages across the country, decreasing reliance on money lenders. Traditional farming began to give way to large-scale commercial farming in order to feed a rapidly growing nation. As the years progressed, agriculture saw rapid changes with high-yielding variety crops, the Green Revolution, the White Revolution, and other modern techniques. The government realized that in order to sustain Indian rural communities in the face of such overwhelming change, integrated rural development was the need of the hour. Easy credit, agricultural training, market connections, and infrastructure had to be made available to the farmers, especially to those below the poverty line in the remotest areas of India. In order to fulfill this objective, the Reserve Bank of India launched NABARD, the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, in 1982. The philosophy behind this initiative can be understood through the folk tale of the 18th Horse. Once upon a time, there was an old man who had 3 sons. One day, he beckoned his sons to tell them what they would inherit. The eldest son would get 1/2 of all his belongings, the second son 1/3, and the third son would get 1/9. When the old man passed away, almost everything was divided without hassle. But their father had 17 horses. If the horses were to be divided into half, 1/3, and 1/9, the sons would end up with 8.5 horses, and so on, an end which was impossible to come to. Then a solution arrived. It was their friend riding on a magnificent horse. He heard their predicament. "The solution is simple," said the friend. "Take my horse and then divide the herd the way your father wanted." After politely refusing first, the sons agreed. Now they had 18 horses which could be divided perfectly. 1/2 of 18, which is 9, went to the eldest. 1/3 of 18, which is 6, went to the middle son, and the third got 2 horses, which is 1/9 of 18. When this task was achieved, the 3 sons were left with a total of 17 horses, which is 9 plus 6 plus 2, the original number of horses that belonged to their father. The 18th horse that was left was their friend's. He took back his own horse and went ahead, and the sons were left with their father's horses, perfectly satisfied and happy. NABARD serves the rural population in the same way, taking the form of a friend and simplifying the process that leads to a solution. When the problem is solved and success is achieved, this 18th horse moves on to continue its mission, assuring us all that it will be there if ever needed in the future. The main challenge for NABARD in 1982 was reaching each and every village. But NABARD managed by partnering with and operating through existing rural banks, volunteer organizations, and NGOs. Furthermore, NABARD placed a district development manager within each district to implement and promote its schemes and policies. What followed the inception of NABARD has been phenomenal. NABARD's initiatives not only aid farming, but also lead to the management of natural resources through topsoil conservation and canals. Horticulture, floriculture, and sericulture became the buzzwords. NABARD ensured that villagers could stay where their roots were and prosper there, working hand in hand with villages across the country and containing the frenzied migration to cities along the way. Integrated rural development also involved the community, encouraging women empowerment and enthusiastic community participation through self-help groups and Vikas volunteer vahinis. The entire movement encouraged non-farming activities for those who didn't own land as well. Such villagers invested in animal husbandry and handicraft, a blessing for artisans who needed to sustain their craft, competing with world imports in India. Household income increased and the vision of self-sufficient villages started to become a reality, secure in the able hands of NABARD.
NABARD's mission is to serve primarily the farmer and the rural producer through credit to bring about integrated rural development. We have served this cause with devotion and commitment. We will continue to serve rural India with greater zeal and enthusiasm to improve the incomes of the rural producers through production and productivity improvements, diversification and commercialization of agriculture, integrated farming systems, and integration of farming and non-farm systems, technology upgradation and skill improvement. We hope the developmental process will help the Indian farmer to reap fully the export potential in a globalized and liberalized economy.
The NABARD logo symbolizes this spirit perfectly. The wheat corn in the center symbolizes agriculture. The two hands enveloping the wheat corn symbolize the rural arts. The growing series of circles represents progressiveness, growth, and dynamism, highlighting the concepts of protection, upliftment, and support. This is what NABARD stands for. This is what they believe is development.